Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone Dr. Mona Zaki, novelist and a global strategic consultant. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have the honor and the pleasure to have you with us over the phone. I really wish that you could be able to come to our studio, of course. Good morning to you and to your family. And we'd like to speak, Dr. Zaki, on the 114th anniversary of the Coptic Museum in Egypt, which has been inaugurated, and there was restoration and renovation work taking place there.
Yes, absolutely. The Coptic Museum is in fact located in a very, very holy place. And I believe your viewers and the whole world are very aware of the Holy Family journey to Egypt. When Jesus and the Holy Family came to Egypt 2022 years ago, because when he came as a baby.
Yes.
And he moved from Bethlehem to Egypt through, of course, North Sinai, and he took the Holy Family took all the way till Upper Egypt.
Yes.
And one of the main stops where they took refugee was in the old Cairo area, where the Coptic Museum is situated.
Yes.
This old Cairo area is also very, very special because it has the Abu Sirga church where they took refugee there, the St. Barbara church, the Hanging church, which is called El Ma'alla'a, which
Yes.
is the Virgin Mary church, and St. George church, as well as St. George Monastery for nuns.
Yes.
So the Coptic Museum is situated in this area, and you find within a walking distance you can really have this place, and it did become a place of pilgrimage for Egyptians and Christians from all over the world.
Yes.
So as for the Coptic Museum was founded by the very prominent Egyptian Christian figure, Morcus Basha Semeka, who founded the museum in 1908, and then the museum took its official opening in 1910. And that's why we were celebrating the 114th anniversary for the establishment and the opening of the Coptic Museum.
Yes. Yes.
Dr.
Zaki, also the Church of St. Sergius Church is very important because, as you've just mentioned, that Jesus Christ was an infant when he came, and they stayed for, this is the most important stay or station for the path of the Holy Family here in Egypt. And we can see the small bed of the Jesus, of course, there.
Look, because the whole journey took around 3 years and a half.
Yes.
You see, so this is a very, very, the whole Egypt is very holy because the Holy Family came from North Sinai and they walked actually, and then they took the Nile River to Upper Egypt, to Minya, Asyut, and they took refuge in all those areas. All over Egypt is a holy land for us all, and considered by Christians all over the world as a place for pilgrimage.
Yes.
But talking back to Coptic Museum, to be situated in this area where the Holy Family visited and stayed for a while, and took refuge in the church of Abu Sirga as well, and in this area. At that time, it wasn't built as a church, but if they took refuge in this area, made the whole area so blessed and holy. So, going back to the Coptic Museum, is considered a landmark in the history of Egypt. It includes the largest collection of Coptic antiquities in the world. You see. So the purpose of this Coptic Museum, when Morcus Semeka Basha insisted on establishing this museum, was to preserve the Coptic heritage.
Yes.
You see, and which is the great representation of Christian faith in Egypt and all over the world as well, because it's the eldest church in the world. Coptic Orthodox Church is the eldest church in the world. When Saint Marcus, one of the disciples of Jesus Christ, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, came to Alexandria and to preach Christianity in Egypt. And this is where the Christianity began to flourish and flourish during the Roman Empire.
Yes.
And that time there was terrible persecution by the Roman Empire to all Christians, having this faith. So it was really, it wasn't easy time for Christians. But St. Mark made a point, and with prayers, and he had good Christians he could preach Christians, and some people converted to Christianity. And since that time, the Coptic Orthodox Church is still reviving and is still flourishing, and is still, living in the freedom of Christianity.
Yes, yes. So concerning the book, Dr. Zaki, the book of
Yes.
Psalms,
Psalms.
give us an idea about the components of the book and its importance.
Yeah. Look, the Coptic Museum itself has many sections representing the Coptic Christian heritage, as we said. It has many sections. A section on stone and portraits, for example, and it has lots of, historical collection of beautiful decorated stones representing Coptic rituals and Coptic beliefs. It has another section, you see, of icons. It has another section of metal coins, gold and silver. It has another section of wood artifacts, and the Coptic artists use different kinds of wood to produce their art. It has another section of ivory, another section of pottery and glass section as well, of clothes and textiles. But coming to the Coptic writing section, we have this wonderful miracle. We have this. We got this treasure, the Book of Psalms, and the Book of Psalms is considered the longest Old Testament book in the Old Testament. You see, it considers of 151 Psalms, and the discovery of this book was in 1984. They discovered, and who discovered it? The Egyptian mission, headed by the Egyptian archaeologist Ibrahim Ali Gad. And this book was inside a grave beneath the head of a young Coptic girl. You see, she was buried in Beni Suef. You see, in a very remote village in Beni Suef. You see, and that was the ritual of the ancient Egyptians before even Christianity. They used to have their book of, they placed the book of the dead under their head or on the top of their chest. So this was a ritual used by Egyptians that time. So when this young girl died, they put this Book of Psalms, very, very, it was in a bad shape, of course, but long time ago, when it was discovered in 1984, it was really in a bad shape. So the whole point here, we were celebrating the renovation and the restoration of the book, which was very, very difficult to do because it contains 498 pages, the Book of Psalms. And for Christians in general, the Book of Psalms is the book of hymns, chants, and glorifications and prayers thank to God. And mainly written, at least 73 psalms of them were written by King David the prophet,
Yes.
Dawood al-Nabi, and the rest were written by King Solomon, his son, and other people who I can't really remember all the names of the other who wrote it, but mainly King David and King Solomon.
Yes.
So for Christians all over the world, this book is very important because they use it even in Coptic Church, in Coptic Orthodox messes. We use a lot of those songs in our messes.
Yes.
And because they praise the Lord, they glorify the Lord, they ask for help. There are very, very nice verses in those songs that are used up till now in our message.
Yes. Dr. Zaki, the restoration development, the restoration department of the Coptic Museum and also the Islamic Museum have received the Dr. Zahi Hawass Award as the best restoration project in 2023 because of this work. So what is the most important restoration work done there?
You see, the details, the scientific details of the restorations is a great success because also as Egyptians are all one, because all Egyptians are originally Copts Christians and Copt Muslims. So the whole beauty of this restoration process was done by the Egyptian mission of restoration, and this was done by the scientists from the Coptic Museum and the scientists of the Museum of Islamic Arts. Together, they really worked hard on this restoration. Of course, the details, the scientific details of the restoration is all written, in the process itself. And you see all the signs of damage were dealt with this restoration process. Papers and folders were rearranged according to the scientific methodology. It wasn't easy. It took, I believe, 5 years to get totally restored because it was in a very bad shape. So, and that's why there is a whole, demonstration on electronic screen, electronic screen that you can use and see all the details of the restorations, and also that can recite the content of the book itself, the songs itself, in seven different languages.
Yes.
So when I read, for example, Psalm 16, "Reserve me, O God, for in you I put my trust." This is so beautiful. We pray all those songs in our messes. "I will love you, Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock. The Lord is my fortress, my deliverer. My God is my strength, in whom I will trust." All those beautiful songs written in this book. So you really enjoy, and I invite the viewers and I invite everybody to go and visit this Coptic Museum because it's a treasure and it shows the heritage and the origin of Egypt that started from the Pharaonic civilization to Coptic civilization to Islamic civilization.
Yes.
So the Coptic civilization is very rich because it involves the history and the Coptic language as well. You see, because the Coptic language is a combination of Demotic language, which is the descendant of the hieroglyphic language, and Greek letters.
Yes.
So it's a treasure to see this place.
Yes, Dr. Zaki, also the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, Ahmed Isa, have also inspected the archive exhibition, which is entitled Selections from the Coptic Museum Archive. So what are the archive, what does it contain? Give us an idea about the archive.
Yeah, the archive section contains of the correspondence that went that started when Semeka Basha established the museum,
Yes.
and all those correspondence requesting and gathering all the, he was a great collector as well of
Yes.
Coptic antiquities, and all the restorations correspondence, the acquisition correspondence, and the different correspondence that took place between international Egyptologists and Coptologists all over the world, inviting them to come to Egypt.
Yes.
For example, during Semeka Basha's leadership to the Coptic Museum, during Dr. Pahor Labib leadership at the Coptic Museum, and during Gaudat Gabra, and the three figures and the three leaders were also recognized in this celebration.
I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Mona Zaki, novelist and global strategic consultant. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. I really had the pleasure.
I have to just end my words, but
yes,
why I'm so involved, because I'm the great granddaughter of Dr. Famous, renowned Coptologist, Dr. Akladios Bek Labib. He's the one who did the translation of Coptic language to Arabic language.
That's great.
So I'm very much involved, and my uncle, Dr. Pahor Labib, was the director of the museum, who made a great achievements as well.
A great pleasure also to have you with us. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Mona Zaki, novelist and a global strategic consultant. Thank you very much for joining us. With this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.